Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It, show where Moon and I are playing just way too many roguelikes. It's feeding the
It's a
beast.
problem. It's a
Yeah,
problem that you started, that
I
you are
plead the fifth.
responsible for.
That's right. I can
Mm-mm,
neither confirm nor
mm-mm,
deny without the
uh-uh,
Secretary of
no.
Roguelikes approval. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moon here.
That- Hi, and that is cross-joke
That's
references
right.
that is
That's right.
insanely deep cut.
Crossing over two shows.
And it's a time travel joke because most people won't get that for at
That's
least
right.
like 2
You're not gonna
weeks.
hear it for like quite a while. Enjoy that. But we're here talking about Rogue Legacy 2. How did diving into the dungeon, building the castle go for you this week?
So unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time this week. Which,
Mm-hmm.
if you are a patron and getting this early, go listen to this week's behind the magic episode
That's
to
right.
figure out what I was doing all this week. I played a couple of runs. I hate that second zone, which I'm
The
assuming is supposed to be the second zone.
Yeah, the one where it's like the big docks area where it has like that one super
Yes.
long screen. I like that zone, but man, it has so many traps in the floor
Uh-huh.
in so many areas when the first
Oh
zone didn't
no.
really have any.
Yeah, and I just realized something.
Hmm.
There's an achievement for hitting every single obstacle on the docks without hitting the floor.
Oh boy.
And I'm curious if it's the docks at the beginning or
Right.
those docks.
Oh boy. I almost don't want to know.
I really don't. I have
Yeah.
to know because you know me,
Yeah.
but I'd
I
rather
kind of
not know.
do like the idea of the traps in that second zone having the glowy yellow like halo around them so you can jump kick off of them, but
Yes.
I never notice it until I have already been hit by them. And it
Yep.
hasn't clicked in my brain that like you just gotta jump and kick flip and then get out of there. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Honestly, audio cues are the thing that saves me in that.
Hmm.
Not against the arrows. I hate the arrows.
Yeah, the
Still,
arrows are.
just,
I will never. I look at the ground and I'm always like, "Ooh, what's that?" And then 25 damage. It's like, yep,
oh.
yep, all right, cool. Happened again.
So I'm assuming you beat that first boss then, if you're
So I
exploring
did.
that zone.
I have gotten deeper in the second area without beating the first boss.
Uh-huh.
But I went back because I was having a. I unlocked a couple of different classes this week. I unlocked the class that you really liked, the one with the axe,
The barbarian,
the
yes.
barbarian. That's a very cool and very different class. Like I really like that each one of these classes feels genuinely different. The
Uh-huh.
first game had like a little bit of a problem with that, but as as crazy as it sounds, the barbarian, when you unlock it, is just like, well, he can't move and attack at the same time, which initially feels pretty weird after using the kind of the default knight
The night
class.
guy, yeah.
Um, and they may make a big deal about like, oh yeah, you can do like the spinny jump and stuff like that, and it doesn't sound like a big difference, but man, it feels so
Oh
different
yeah.
to play that class, and
Uh-huh.
learning how to kind of plant yourself in the right spot at the right time to just slash as many times as you can and getting that spin jump attack down, like it's a really cool class.
Mm-hmm.
um I unlocked
Which,
the
by the way,
okay.
the barbarian does have a dash cancel. So
Oh, that's true.
when you swing, he can dash cancel away
Right.
from the attacks, which
Yeah.
is great because it's the only thing I want to ever use dash for, other than
Yep.
platforming. Because I
Yep.
despise the dash in this game.
Yeah, it's like it's a good dash for traversal, but I just never realize how far it goes, so I just bonk myself right into enemies every single time.
Every time,
Yeah.
without fail. And especially when you've got two classes who rely on dash attacks for a skill critical.
Right.
It's just like, no, that's not fair.
Right. I did unlock the Valkyrie, the one with
Yes,
the
the
winged
spear lady.
helmet. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But I also unlocked Chef, which
Yep. Let's
I was
let's have a
really
conversation about the chef, shall
yeah
we?
I was really excited to unlock the Chef because it sounded really wild on paper, and
Uh-huh.
is even more wild playing it. Um, because not only do you have effectively very little range on your attack, but your attack sets enemies on fire, and deflecting bullets does like double damage back to the
Deflecting
enemy.
bullets gives you a guaranteed critical.
Right, which is even
So when
crazier.
you hit a bullet, you get that timer that runs down above your head,
Yep.
and any attack you do in that timer is guaranteed critical.
Yeah,
Sure.
which is wild. And I think the deflected bullet does more damage, but I don't know that for 100%.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. And there's something else about cooking food, and I'm not sure I know
He's
how to do that.
his class ability is a heal.
Ah, okay. It's class ability. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Um, it's pretty wild. It is.
Uh-huh.
You
I
want to
had a
talk about a
really good
class that
run with the
plays
chef today.
differently? Oh yeah.
Uh-huh. I got like halfway through the second zone. It was insane.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, like just being able to put a status effect on people is a huge deal considering some of the relics are do more damage with a status effect. And it's just like,
Right.
great.
Yep.
The mage, the mage and the chef, give me those relics because
Yes.
that will do every single time.
Yep. Um, but the best run I had this week was a Valkyrie run, and I like the Valkyrie overall because it's a little bit more agile. You have a little bit more range. I kind of
Hmm.
like the speed in general. Um,
Yeah.
but I picked Valkyrie because it had a like a trait that I hadn't seen before. It still had the question marks. And as soon as I picked it, it turned out to be that shadow form with the heart. And I was like, all right,
Uh-huh.
man, let's do this. Let's go. And that's the
So you've
one.
got you got full directional attacks, and
Right.
you can barely be
And
hit,
yeah,
basically.
I'm virtually untouchable. And shockingly, that was the run I beat the first boss on. Because that first boss isn't really hard. He has a lot of attacks, but he telegraphs them all pretty clearly. He just has a
Yeah.
ton of health. Like
Yeah.
it's just a long fight. Um,
Which I think I actually beat that boss with the Valkyrie as well because most of his blue projectiles, the Valkyrie can do the spear spin and absorb those projectiles with.
right. That must have been what I was doing. Interesting. God, there's so many mechanics for each individual class. I feel like I have barely scratched the surface on any of them.
Uh-huh. I got synesthesia as one of my traits this week, which is
Okay.
just everything leaves a huge trail of color behind it.
Oh no.
So
Okay.
it becomes this trippy as hell experience where when you're running, there's a big green line coming behind you.
Oh
Like it
man.
looks like green smoke. And
Right.
then anytime an enemy throws something or fires a projectile, there's a like a red line that comes behind them. But
Jeez.
it's this big, thick Microsoft Paint looking blobs. Not like
Right.
square or pixelated, but you turn the paintbrush settings up and you just draw a big line. It's like one
Right.
of those. And it's
That's
just like,
wild.
wow. Like
I
it's
I
so bright and insane.
I did get one called Old School, I think, and it was essentially like a sepia toned one where the edges of the screen were kind of like cracked
With
and burned.
frayed in. Yeah.
Yeah. That one was okay. Um God, did I get any other great ones this week? I don't know. A lot of mine was basically like, all right, I'm gonna. My two objectives this week were, I want to beat the first boss, and I want to try and get as far as I can in that second zone. And I think I got about as far as you did, where it's sort of like, all right, I beat that big first screen, that kind of like
Hmm.
traversal screen. I got into the second area, which is maybe a little bit more traditional based on the first zone. Um, and I just didn't have enough health. It's one of those like
Yeah.
I had a great run going. I got that that ring that brings you back from death with 50% health. I had that, and
Uh-huh.
I just ran out of health.
Oh, it's the roguelike thing. As soon as
Yeah.
you make one mistake, they just stack
Yep.
over and over again until you're punished for it.
And
Um,
actually, speaking of losing, I do like the thing that this game does, where the more you play a specific class, the more that class levels up. Um,
uh-huh.
I haven't really seen that pay any big dividends yet. A lot of the like class upgrades have been like, oh, you get a little bit more of this, or you start with like a little bit more mana, or something like that, or like,
So I think if you talk to the wooden dummy that give you that information,
mm-hmm.
they give you a big list of all of the classes and what your current upgrade is. Um,
Okay. I
and
haven't
then
talked
at
to
the
her in a
bottom,
while.
I think it gives you a total effect, which is
Gotcha.
it doesn't stack them all with every class. So it's not like now every class has 2 HP or whatever.
Yeah.
But it does give you some additive bonus. I think the more levels you have, the more something increases across the board.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't talked to her in a while. I usually go talk to her you when I unlock a class for the first time, because she'll kind of have some tips and hints about like, oh, here are the kind of main mechanics for this class, so they can do X, Y, and Z. But
Mhm.
I usually kind of leave after that. Um,
Yeah.
other
Let's see.
Trying to think what like castle
Uh,
upgrades I've done.
did you get the Soul House yet?
The soul, yes, I just did. Where there's the two people up top, like in the inside of the building. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yep.
And the
Yep.
dude on the left, did you speak to him and start doing the runs, the challenge rooms?
I don't think I have him unlocked yet.
He's in that house. As soon as you have that house, he's right there.
Okay, I must have missed him then.
Yeah, he's
Um,
asleep on the middle of the left-hand side. So if you went in and went
okay.
right, you might have missed him if you went down the same way.
Yeah, because the game
Uh,
has like the little like exclamation mark bubble of like, there's someone up here for you to talk to. I'm like, yep, let's get up there.
mhm. I did the exact same thing.
Yep.
Um, so now you're up to the point where you get combat challenges and platforming challenges
Hmm.
and boss challenges, which give you another currency,
Oh no.
which is souls. And then you spend those souls with the two in the attic, and that increases the level cap for certain attributes.
Yes. Yeah. I already had some of
So,
those from somewhere, so I boosted like one or two things.
yeah, I think you get 200 just as a congratulations on unlocking this thing.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it gives you like your HP cap goes up. So like that node you unlocked in the castle that was like, oh, 10 HP upgrades,
Right.
that then goes up to 11 and then 12 and
Ah,
stuff like that. So
interesting.
not only do you get stronger, but you can get stronger again.
Right. God, there's so much in this game, man.
Uh-huh. I honestly don't understand that. Um,
Gosh.
Disattuned is the name of that. Um, the
The one with
heart
the
thing,
heart?
by the
Okay.
yeah.
Disattuned. I have to remember that one. That one, it's one
It's
of
so
the
good.
it's one of the few ones that seem like it doesn't have a downside that I can tell.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's it's really good. Like there's
Yeah.
literally nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Um, I got hollow bones this week, which is hilarious.
Mhm.
You you fall slowly like a bird, you know.
That's great. I like it.
Mhm. Um, my biggest issue this week was my really good run with the chef. I can't remember what the ability the trait was, but your health regenerates.
Okay.
But every time you take a hit, your max health goes down.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah,
Yikes.
it was like, okay, great, sure.
I'm not that good at Rogue Legacy 2 yet to look forward to that one. You want
I
you?
did really well,
Oh,
really
nice.
well, right up until the second big room of the docks, and I was like, great, I'm screwed.
Oh man.
I was literally, I explored everywhere. I was like, just give me one of those trees with the fruit thing, please. Just give me
Yes.
one or two of those,
Yep.
and I can get my health cap way up there,
Right.
and then it will regen itself, which is instant, by the way. Like the second I was taking damage, it was like full health, full
Wild.
health,
That's crazy.
full health. And I just wanted one or two of those stupid trees to spawn, and if they would
Yeah.
have spawned, I would have been fine. Because like, yeah, I will happily sacrifice 80 HP now to get
Right.
a maximum health increase of like 124 or whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
give it to me.
Gosh. There's so much in this game, and I'm really enjoying it.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah. I really have no negatives to say at the moment. I think my only ongoing frustration is there's kind of a lot of currencies. Um,
Yep.
but I feel like if you're getting if you're kind of like fully exploring that first area, you're usually getting most of them. Um,
Hmm.
you're definitely getting a lot if you beat the boss, but I'm not. I'm sure it's going to be one of those things where you get deep enough into the dungeon during a run. And it's like, yeah, I've got like 30,000 of this, I got 10,000 of that, I got 20,000 souls. That was an okay run. You get to that point in every roguelike, so um, it's just a
Yeah.
an early game frustration, probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The thing that still annoys me is the stupid fairy chests.
Yeah, I largely didn't interact with them this week because sometimes I like the puzzle of just like, all right, no jumping and take no damage. It's like, how am I? All right, cool, but man, this week I did not feel like taking on that challenge and trying to figure those out. Like that was not going to happen this
Hmm.
week.
It was stupid. Like it's a
Yeah.
fairy. I had to get me every single time.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know.
Any last thoughts here for week 2?
Still debating on whether or not I'm going to do house rules.
Yeah, I took a look at that this week. I thought that I like you said last week. I like the recommendations of like if you want things to be easier, set this value to X. If you want it to be a little more challenging, set this value to Y. I like there's an option of like touching enemies won't do any damage to you except for like a couple that are exempt from that. There's a lot of cool. I really like more games, especially more roguelikes doing that, where it's like uh, if you need to change the game for whatever reason, we have all of these granular settings to let you do that. I think that's great. I hope we see more
And
roguelikes do that.
I like the fact that they give advice too, where it's like,
Yes.
okay, if you turn this one off, we get it, but maybe tweak these ones up or so on and so forth.
Yeah, if you want to keep the challenge kind of at the same level where it is, if you turn this one off, turn that one up. If you turn this one off, turn this one down. Like it's a really smart system.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks everyone for listening. We'll see you next run. Bye.
Bye.